Hey there, welcome in. My name's Kerry Ann. Disclaimers, these are just my thoughts and opinions, and also I swear. Once again, you can see I'm fucking straight up dripping in finesse. I am oozing sex appeal. Yes, she has leopard print fucking pyjamas too. Sorry, Shabazz Ali. Some people just love leopard print, mate. Now, last night I sat and watched. I was very excited to find out what the Religion of Peace were doing at Aston Villa last night. And I thought, because I spent the entire night watching live streams from Aston Villa, thank you, humongous thanks and praise to everybody who went and documented it. I am loving this part of human evolution where new media are actually doing the job of that the media ain't doing. I'm fucking loving this part of our evolution, mate, because we can actually see, thank you to these brave souls, and I'm sure that some of them just want to, I don't know why they do it, mate, but there's a lot of bravery that goes on in there. And they are putting themselves on the line to do what our journalists are not doing. I've just watched a video now about a hoo-ha about this train stabbing, this Huntington train stabbing. The mainstream media are telling us that a Muslim man, an Algerian Muslim man, saved all those people. I saved us all. And then there's this one article saying that it's this man of Irish descent who was just on the train, got his hand stabbed up and everything. He sat there with his little bandage on, looking a bit like Postman Pat, or like he was wearing a mitten. And he also apparently, and it's like what we're a week on from the Huntington stabbing, something like that. Can the investigative journalists not have pieced together a story of what happened on that fucking train to tell the public by now? In this video that I watched, I can't remember, it's the first time I've ever watched this fella, so I don't know what his name is, but big ups to that chap. If you recognise yourself, of the 20 people who watch this video, like literally, if you recognise yourself, you darling, thank you. But he said that some chap had been arrested because he said that an illegal immigrant had flashed a young girl, and he got arrested for that, for saying that incorrectly. There was another dude who claimed that this unfortunate looking dog was a lion and was going to kill people, and he didn't get arrested for that fake assertion. Two-tier. Let's go back to last night, shall we? So I was sat there on my computer and I got YouTube up, and basically I'd opened as many live streams as I could, and I was like flicking through to see who'd got the juicy gossip. There was so I'll try and remember like all of them. I started out with, and I never did get to, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. It was a weird name. It weren't Stripey. I know. Splodge, no. Scoop, no. I don't know. But I'm so sorry. But all of this was just him travelling there in the car, so I didn't actually really watch him at the thing. And we got BB audits, AY audits was there, 2CTV was there. He Speaks Freely. Who else did I have? Oh, some Lewis Erdington or Errington or something like that. I was there. I was like, they were like, oh, look, it's so-and-so. So I was like there trying to listen to who they were saying, to like look in YouTube to see, right, okay, well, let's go and see and add their feed, because I like to add. And if you've got a favourite like auditor or somebody who goes around and follows these things, please put their name in the comments of this video for me, but so that I've got more, ammo for next time. So we started out with BB audits. Oh, Tommy Robinson, Ezra chap. And like these people had been sent to the start off point for the counter protest. Now let's just go back to the protest / counter protesting of the migrant hotels that we've seen over the summer and whatever. So we'd got the protesters, and the protesters were right wing thugs, which were mainly, ladies dressed in pink. Whatever, right wing thugs, the ones with the, oh God, evil Union Jacks. Oh God, I'm sorry if that provokes a response. I know it's scary. Or Union Jack. Oh God, strikes fear in the heart, does it not? And then we had the counter protests, which were people waving Palestinian flags, banging drums, and calling the other ones Nazis. So we got the protesters with the peaceful ones standing there, big old boombox occasionally busting out a chorus of Sweet Caroline that got them all singing. Proper British camaraderie is what it put me in mind of. Just a load of people got together, chatting, going, it's fucking disgusting, mate. Why is nobody doing anything about it? We're not safe on the streets. And then we got the counter protesters who kind of look like the people we're making us unsafe on the streets, to be fair. Nasty fuckers. Like literally hurling fucking abuse, all got the same bloody, stand up to racism on a stick because they were, herded together. The Amdram lot, like as I call them, because they look like they, like with the just stop oil protesters, these organised counter protesters look like they do amateur dramatics. I know this because I used to do amateur dramatics and I know what they fucking look like. And literally these people look like they're after 5 minutes of fucking fame. And the people interviewed them and they're like, why are you protesting against these people who are protesting against us not being safe on the streets? And they'd be like, none of them had a fucking answer. They'd be like, oh, well, we need to stand up to capitalism and all of this lot. And it's like, mate, that's got absolutely fuck all to do with why these people are protesting. Why are you protesting about these protests? You're a counter protest to these people. What is it about what they say specifically that you don't like? Socialist worker, like not an argument between them really, but a lot of Palestinian flags, right? Because in case you don't know how I work, well, I kind of give little examples of our work, but I kind of like float around like a bubble, pick some up, sort of go touch, pick some up, touch. Like I don't structure, learn, like I don't research, I don't sit down and read something from beginning to end, like I float. It's just how I work. It's the experiment and what I've been on since 2007. Just bear with. But I do kind of pick up a few things and then I tie them together. So fuck this. So last night, right, I got all of these things open. And from what I could find, the counter protesters to this one, that's what we were saying. So that was like when the right wing thugs were protesting without incident. And we had Tommy Robinson do the Unite the Kingdom march, where somewhere in the region of 1 million people got together, and there were 25 arrests and 17 of them, forgive me if I'm getting my numbers wrong, but it's 17 or 16. Like the majority of them were from the counter protesters, the Palestinian flag waving counter protesters who were there just literally to go, you're a fucking racist, right? They're the ones that got arrested. Peaceful march. Last night at Birmingham, Aston Villa versus Maccabi Tel Aviv, the counter protesters got the chance to be the protesters, right? And there was a counter protest against this, and that, but from what I can gather from all of the sources that I've seen, the protest, they basically managed to get all of the Jewish fans banned from going to see their team play football, which I think is nasty for a start off, but it's the religion of peace. What do you fucking expect? So they managed to ban the fans, right? And this comes into play later on. It's hilarious. To me. So but that wasn't enough. They wanted Israel banned from football altogether, and apparently that is what they were. That's what they were protesting last night, right? But most of the people who'd gone there, the auditors and whatever. So Tommy Robinson was definitely there in this car park, and BB Audits was in there. Basically, they were sent to this fucking bus stop, like round the back end of the thing. And so I'm watching that footage, and there's fuck all happening. There's just people standing around. There's a lovely little lady in a fucking Union Jack bloody ballet. I loved her. I want to be mates with that lady. If you're out there, my darling, please get in touch, because I think you're fantastic. Like literally, so there's just people sort of hanging about. Luckily, I'd got like about 6 bloody windows in YouTube. Round the other side, there were people that were filming the actual protest. And at one point in time, the counter protesters, bearing in mind, counter protest usually means banging drums and calling people Nazis, but the tides were turned last night. The counter protest, nice peaceful little march, ended in some dude doing a speech. Fucking brilliant speech. He was a Jewish fella, and literally, and he pointed out, like, they've got us in a Jew cage. They have literally just, and it's it's for their own safety. Address the fact that they're not safe, you twat. Sorry. Do apologise. No, I've disclaimed that, I swear. And they're twats. Like, literally, it was two-tier policing last night on crack, right? Go watch some footage. It is literally diabolical. Now, I'm just going to, because there weren't much. There's not much to other than it was a complete waste of time to a lot of people that hung around with the counter protesters, but I'm glad they did, because we got to see it. So even though you might have been thinking, gone home and thought, well, I missed all the fucking action, because like the protest, massive action, we'll get to that in a sec, counter protest, fuck all happened. Not even largely peaceful, completely fucking peaceful. These people walked down the road, some dude made a speech, then they went and stood, like they just stood caged up, right? For their own safety, like you would in a farm. Anyway, like for their own safety, don't let the pigs out, mate, because some fucker will eat them, that kind of thing. So, farms. Like I say, pig, that's the Muslims out the door. Anyways, so the main protest was the Muslim population of Birmingham and some old people in the old black and white tea towel. Fucking, oh God. I wonder if these people know a damn fucking thing about Islam. Like, you just take small bits, like the we're not here to take part, we're here to take over, which came out of the mouth of one of the main chaps associated with last night. Like, literally, just fucking research what you're backing, mate. Research the current genocide in Nigeria and in Sudan of Christians. Just people just being slaughtered for not being Muslim. Before you pick your side, mate, look what fucking side you're picking. It ain't rocket science, darling. Every single man in that religion is told that they've got to emulate Muhammad, because Muhammad is perfect, and Muhammad married a girl when she was 6 and took her virginity when she was 9. And that is seen as perfectly fine. With that, not all of them, obviously. And again, as I said yesterday, fucking put your hand up and say, not in my name, mate. But at the end of the day, that's what they're taught, that they have to emulate Muhammad. Kids ain't fucking safe. And we're getting a bloody mosque up the road next to a fucking primary school because nobody's fucking researching the fucking religion. Anyways, right, so the religion of peace. I sound so peaceful, don't I? But it was fucking hilarious, right? So they got this whole field. And on the other side, absolutely no. Few people walking, chatting, that kind of thing. So I was watching what was going on with the actual protest because that was loud. The peace was deafening, mate. So much fucking peace. So I can't take all this fucking peace, mate. It's too much peace. Come on, let up with the peace already. But they got a stage and a microphone. Here's some of the things. And somebody in the comments, please let me know if this is legal, right? On the counter-protest side, by the way, before I get to what I heard with my own ears, I saw two separate, I think one was the Tommy Robinson one, but I'm pretty sure I saw two separate people say that there were signs up saying that Jews weren't allowed in that area, right? Tell me if that's legal, right? Now, and tell me if somebody has photographs, if they didn't take photographs, that is so lax. Because I sat there and I'm having a little chat with Chat GPT last night, and I'm like, can you tell me, is it illegal? Because I'm pretty sure that they said that Palestinian Action was an illegal group, right? But that, like, literally, this was a field full of Palestinian flags. Palestinian, sorry. So they ruined, like, everybody's fucking football match. It won't fuck all to do with football, right? They're like, oh, this is our team. If it were your team, you'd be sat watching the fuckers, wouldn't you? But no, right? Shouting, chanting, because that's what they do, as with the Nazi scum, you know, when they're counter-protesting. But when they've got the fucking stage, mate, they go ham. So I heard, and I lost count at half a dozen, because I thought that the Palestinian Action thing was illegal for a starter. But I heard, at the very least, half a dozen times, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Now, I'm not familiar with that phrase. I don't. Apparently, it means kill all Israelis and is an incitement to war, is an incitement to violence. So I said to ChatGPT, isn't this a banned phrase? Aren't you meant to not be saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free? There's some dude belting it out on a fucking tannoy system and a field full of people chanting it back, right? Is that legal? ChatGPT. Well, it's a very nuanced area because, you know, because it is very, somebody called it woke on a video I watched yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, you know, like, it won't have you say anything about Muslims, it won't have you say anything. I had an interesting talk with it about Freemasons, them bastards. Freemasons once, it will not tell you a fucking thing. You've got to go round the back and ask surreptitious questions. And I said, and it went, do you want me to tell you this, Kerry-Ann? Like, this is the Freemason conversation. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, it's all right. You've already told me which side you're on. And it's like, oh, you got me there, Kez. Yeah, fucking yeah. So I'm like, is it legal to say from the river to the sea? It's like, well, not technically. It depends. If it is to do with an incitement to violence and whatever, if it's said with anything else. Other things I heard them say is it's game over for Israel. That was chanted through the microphone quite a few times. And then later on in the night, I heard, and this was hilarious, right? Because by the end, I told it about the signs saying no Jews allowed and whatever. And like, by the end, ChatGPT's giving me fucking detail. Do you want me to write a letter to send to the police? It's like, no, you need to report this to the police. This is obviously inciting violence. Mate, the police were fucking there. They were saying it to the fucking, the police are all stood there protecting these people. right? So the police full well knew they were inciting hatred against Jews, right? So it's not illegal, basically. It isn't illegal to chant from the river to the sea because the police stood there and watched them do it. It isn't illegal to say, what's it? Because the police were there and watched. And my personal favourite, that was like, we got police no more than 6 feet away from these people on at least 2, but maybe 3, because like one of them, AY Audits, definitely has this on video because he went over to talk to him. And basically, they were chanting death, death to the IDF. Chanting. Now, one of the times, and this was, I want to say, the Louis guy, these people had left, the Muslims had left because they dispersed, they did the dispersal order, and they weren't moving for some reason. They were just hanging about, the Muslims were hanging about, chanting death, death to the IDF, or like long after the football match had finished. Now, I don't know, I came upstairs to roll a stick, right? And he was with and filming this group of Muslims who'd come away from the football area, but were still stood there around chanting death, death to the IDF. Which is incitement, right? Surely calling for somebody's death is illegal. Bearing in mind, I said that some dude got arrested, that I heard just now. Some dude got arrested for falsely claiming that an immigrant had flashed a little girl. That's an arrestable offence. Standing there as a group and hatefully shouting death to anybody isn't illegal. It's not illegal. But this is my personal favourite, right? And it's not a chant, right? Bearing in mind, this is what these incredibly intelligent people had said before they went. Basically, this is our city and this, that and the other, right? So we'd got a football match between Aston Villa, Maccabi Tel Aviv. Football match went ahead. Apparently Aston Villa won it. I mean, go Britain, but I really did want that. I'm so sorry. I really did want it to kick off last night. I thought, but show your true colours. Well, they did show their true colours. But if they'd have been slightly stopped, if the police had have arrested them for doing that, it would have been World War III. Civil War would have kicked off. And I was kind of hoping that it did. And I got instant karma for that. Right, just going back to my work. Literally, I was out about having a conversation with it all. And I'm like, come on, let's just tip while it's here. And this is the only time I'm ever going to ask for anything negative to happen. But just this one, just so that people can see what we're dealing with here. And I came in and put my finger in a bloody pan of boiling water. Didn't mean to. Put a teaspoon in to check my rice and put the old teaspoon, put the handle in as well. I'm like, that's my fucking karma for wishing bad. Trust me, people need to fucking grasp the concept of karma, because people's lives would be so much better if we weren't evil. Anyways, but this, right? So the Birmingham fans could go, right? A lot of whom were from Birmingham. The protesters, right, carried on shouting, I'm assuming to upset the Tel Aviv players, right, because there weren't any fans there. Well, one bloke broke in, bless him. One bloke and a lady, fucking adorable, love them. Again, like, let's make mates. And he was allowed to stay because Aston Villa fans fought for that man's right to stay in the actual stadium. So I'm like, mate, decent people doing decent things, right? Now, off time, they carried on fucking shouting and chanting and being fucking raucous, right? Antagonistic, right? And if they'd have had a chance to be violent, they'd have taken the fucker. But nobody gave them a chance to be violent. So big ups to all involved. But it would have just been easy to have got it out of the way last night, because we need to see their true fucking colours. So, because people ain't getting it. So yeah, so they came out for half time. The fans, apart from one guy and his wife, all of those fans were there to support Aston Villa. Protesters threw fucking fireworks at them. Their own people. Just because they were in a football. There was no opposing team, like I say, apart from this, but they didn't know that. They didn't know this geezer was in there at the time. They're throwing fucking fireworks, and the football supporters are just going, oh, Tommy Robbins, to piss them off. So you would throw a firework if people were fucking doing that. Well, no, you wouldn't. This is the thing. Normal, everyday people wouldn't do that. Nearly 1 million people went down to London and marched peacefully, and nobody fucking threw fireworks. The night before, last night, so bonfire night, there's people running around the streets of Birmingham setting fireworks off on the fucking ground. It was fucking carnage. It looked like Beirut in Birmingham. The city that the Muslims say belongs to them now. So, you know, like, and I've never known of anybody setting off fireworks like that. Well, obviously you get the occasional thing, you know what I mean? I remember being young and having public safety announcements about how dangerous fireworks are and how to let them off safely. Light blue touch paper in my tyre. That, you remember that? And now we've got people just running around a Muslim city, a self-declared Muslim city, just setting off, putting everybody in fucking danger. Not just themselves. Anybody going to the shop, anybody walking their fucking dog. Heaven forbid, they hate dogs. Absolutely hate dogs. And as we know, you can get stabbed for walking a dog. They hate them that much. So yeah, so last night was a tale of two halves, and it was interesting that when the tables were turned and the protesters were who usually are the counter protesters, they just ramped it fucking up, mate. Now, I don't know about you. Don't live in Gaza myself. Don't know about you. Don't live in Israel either. Don't know anybody Gaza and don't know anybody in Israel. Do not know anybody. I am not affected in any way by what is going on in the Middle East. Indirectly, we all are, mate. We are all suffering from this, right? Directly, don't know nobody. Does not affect me. If the news didn't tell me it was going on, I would have no idea, right? Does not affect me. I refused, so therefore I refuse to pick a side because it's got no to fucking do with me. And I most certainly am not going to look at somebody in my own town and think they're different from me because of their fucking ideas of what's going on in a different country. We've really got to stop this hopping on fucking bandwagons. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at them bastards. Be angry at the people who take away fucking winter fuel payments, who is not Keir Starmer, by the way. It's his fucking lodge buddies, right? Literally, be angry at the people who have got you in a cost of living crisis. Be angry at the people who've murdered members of your fucking family with an untested fucking medical experiment. Be angry at somebody who's hurting you on the daily basis. Where is the fucking logic of being angry? And literally, and I found this out. If you challenge any Muslim on anything ever, you get a fucking history lesson, right? It's always, oh, well, this war went on in the 1700s. This person's been arguing. Is that you? Have you been directly fucking affected by this? Why the fuck are you coming at me with arguments of what somebody did 200 fucking years ago? We ain't there. We're meant to. have evolved past that. And we've got a whole fucking section of community, one that's been treated better than anybody else and being afforded luxuries, like literally freedoms and liberties that we are all denied. And these people are getting it. And why? Because every you argue with them, and it's like, well, you used to, like, Britain used to colonize everybody. And if you've been following me for 17 years, for a start off, who the fuck are you, mate? Let's get married. I don't care what gender you are, let's just get married. I don't care if you're already married. Like, I'm going to have 13 fucking wives. Okay, it's okay in today's society. It's okay to marry your fucking cousin and have a kid born with 3 fucking ears. It's perfectly okay. The NHS fucking thinks like, oh, what a cracking thing. Oh, please give us more work to do. Please, we're struggling with funding as it is, because them bastards don't fucking give us enough because you don't fucking matter. But let's have loads of wheelchairs fucking crushing up the city centre that nobody dare fucking go in because there's migrant fucking hotels around and shit tons of scary fucking Somalian men looking at your tits. I'm so sorry, I'm going off on one. Half a fucking hour, shit. I've got to get ready. I'm actually going out the house tonight. I'm going to watch a concert. And I'm not going to say where or who it is in case somebody comes to kill me. I live in Leicester, mate. It's dangerous. But after I've done, I'll let you know. So, yeah, I'll leave this here. Please feel free to get involved in the discussion. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please consider giving me a like. And most importantly, please consider sharing, because I'm shadow banned to fuck, which you can see by my views. Anyways, thank you for being here. Please come back and never forget that I love you all. Bye.